The eye that mocketh at his father and despises to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out. The young eagle shall eat it. There be 3 things which are too wonderful for me, yea, 4 which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. For 3 things there is disquiet, and for 4 which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigneth, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be 4 things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet make they their houses in the rock. The locusts have no king, yet they go forth all of them by bands. There be 3 things which go well, yea, 4 which are comely in going. A lion which is the strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound, and he goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, if thou hast thought evil, lay thine hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, but the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Proverbs chapter 17 through 33. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish thou me and my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forever. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay, and I'm Mr. Clay. Yes, we're still in the book of Esther. Esther chapter 10, a short chapter as you prepare. But we still thank God for how he has shown us through the book of Esther that if a man or a group of people change and turn to their ways, to the laws, statutes, ordinances, and commandments of the Most High. And we've learned also that the whole earth has been deceived in going different ways of other gods. You have the Jesus, Yahweh Shai, Yeshua God, and the Yahusha God. That's one God they call the Messiah. They call a Savior. But that's neither here nor there, because it's nothing significant about that. It's just a bunch of pumped up words and a bunch of letters, 27 letters attached on to the true historical account of the children of Israel. The true historical account of the children of Israel. And also you have the Quran, which says Gabriel gave this and that. Yes, the words are very wise and they have some depth to them. The same thing with the New Testament. Yes, because they all borrowed from the account of the law and the history of the children of Israel. Historical account of the children of Israel, which we call the Old Testament. But there's no way you can get these people to change because their eyes are not open. It takes the Most High to open the eyes of a people, to let them see the error of their ways, and let them see that what they're being taught is a resultant of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Yes, it is. It's a resultant. And all the other warnings that the Most High have given the children of Israel. The world itself, according to the book of Jubilees, was given over to other strong deities, or should we say fallen devils. Those devils which are destined for separation from the Most High and from the earth and from their own consciousness, to be in total darkness, according to the book of Enoch. I ain't talking about the book of Revelation, the book of Enoch. These things shall happen. There is a place of torment and a gulf from it. Even the one that wrote the book of the letters of the New Testament, they understood and they read the book of Enoch, because there is a gulf between, as you read in their analogy of the, should I say, rich man and Lazarus, or Lazarus and the rich man. Yes, there is a gulf between them, according to the book of Enoch. One is a paradise where they rest, and that's it, and the other one is fire, no water, just a dry place, just where the demons are. Yeah, you can say that. But then there is an ultimate erasure of all the evil in the world, because Adam and Eve only knew obedience, but they had to be tested. And in the book of Jasher, it names the fallen spirit that had tempted Eve, which they called the serpent. Oh, you just don't get it. Adam was given the commandment. Adam told the commandment, he relayed the commandment unto Eve. I had to correct a young lady on social media because of her ranting off at that, because Satan really just infiltrated her mind and she understood it. Thank the Most High for that. And so the sin wasn't with Eve. The sin was with Adam, because Adam was commanded directly. The sin that Eve did was toward Adam, and that she took the fruit, and that he commanded her what God had commanded him. You don't get it. Death happened because of Adam's listening to Eve. Adam loved Eve more than the Most High. And this is where you get your adulteries from. Adam was a delight of the Most High. Really, he was. But nevertheless, we're in the book of Esther. Esther chapter 10, the last of this book here. There's another version of Esther, but this is enough to understand what God is trying to convey to us. If we turn from our idolatries, if we turn from our wicked ways, if we turn from those things that offend the Most High, then we will have peace. Yes, we will. And turn not to those ambiguous and even manipulated sayings that you call of this Messiah or this person whom you have different names for. It doesn't matter what the name you give this person. This person is nothing compared to the Most High, which has no ending nor beginning. The Most High just is, period. That's the only explanation you can give for the Most High. Even some of you call him Tata Nzambe, Sinini Nanini. Hey, I am that I am is what the biblical account gives in English, which Yah means I am. Look it up. It's just I am. God is, period. I am. I just exist. Don't even try to figure it out, because you're going to err, period. This is all it means. The names you given are from paganism, really. Even the Israeli, or should I say Hebrew Israelite paganism. This is what they do in the Old Testament. These are men that have taken what the Most High have said and try to make it themselves understand. And their understanding is not really with any depth and trying to understand and know the Most High. But the I am that I am, or he that is, not a he that is, because he's not a he. I am that I am. The entity that is, the creator that is. There's no beginning or no end. Your Jesus, your Yahushua, your Yahusha, your Muhammad's, your whatever, your Gabriels, they have a beginning. They have a beginning, and if they should fall, they would have an ending. You have to understand this in order to appreciate the law, statutes, ordinances, and commandments of the Most High. You have to appreciate that. He said, don't marvel at all the things that you do. I'm paraphrasing. The stature that you've given, the money, the strength, the big arms, and all these things. But marvel in this, that you understand and know me, says the Most High, through one of his prophets. It's not about knowing no Jesus, Yahushua, Yahusha, or Muhammad, or Gabriel, or whatever. It's not about that. Yeah, they all have wise sayings. They all have good sayings. We just read some of the wise sayings right here in the book of Proverbs. We're about headed to the book of Ecclesiastes. And it's just more wise saying. They have wise sayings in Buddhism. They have wise sayings in all religions of the world. There are wise sayings that really mean a lot, that are observances of life. But the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High are most beneficial to the one who would adhere to them, especially the children of Jacob. The book of Esther. Let's go into these last few, chapter 10. And King Ahasuerus laid tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea. In other words, he taxes. His whole vast kingdom, he became rich. The Most High blessed him because he blessed his inheritance. Or should I say the Most High's inheritance. Now, verse 2, and all the acts of his power, of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai. Mordecai clave chiefly to the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High, that which he could do. And he could do more once they were allowed to go sacrifice in Jerusalem, or Yasharal, or what you would call Jerusalem, or Jerusalem. Yes. Now, God had gave him good success. And this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. That's Joshua 1 and 8. If you really, O'Shea 1 and 8. Look it up. Not depart out of your mouth, but you will remember to meditate on it day and night. And by doing this, what does Joshua say to the people? You will have good success. And this is what happened. Not only came true in the time that Israel was taking over the land, but it's taken true even now between Mordecai. Now unto the king, whereunto the king advanced him, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? In other words, the writings, whether they want to tell you about them or not, this is written in the books of the kings of Media and the Medes and the Persians. It's written in their books. Their obelisk, or whatever you want to call that. It's written there. It's there. It's not in the Bible, no. But it's written about Mordecai in the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia. Now, 3. For Mordecai the Judean was next unto the king Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews. He was next. He was given such a high honor in Persia, and God blessed the Persians because of what they did for the Judeans. Even to the point where Mordecai, you would have called him a Sambo, because he helped the king of Persia, but yet he loved his people. Sambo don't love his people. Sambo don't do things to the point of where he or she is doing that which benefits their people, or maybe later this can benefit my people if I get to a certain office in the land, and not be afraid of all the things that surround them. See, this is where your politicians, especially those that are of Israel, or should I say of the Israelites, we know the differences, would receive an office among the heathen, among the Gentiles, to look out for their people. Not everybody of a dark hue is Israel. No. See, Israelites go by not the mitochondrial DNA, neither the Y chromosome, but who's your father? Now, if you can prove who your father is, and then you can go back who his father was, and then this is how God did it. He didn't do it according to your science. See, you can't put God into the, should I say, the mindset and the understanding of men, but according to his laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. He does it by the seed line. Even as you hear one of the Israelites talk about a racist type guy, he's talking about erasing the seed line of acts of, there's no such thing as blacks or whites, but the dark brown people, Israelites. This is nothing but Satan right there. When he pushes forth himself, when a man or something that's different than you and I, whether he be of the same color or not, this is a Satan. This is their God, the God of their people. See, he's a Christian, this guy that says this. So that lets you know that this Yahushua, they call him Jesus, the same person, is coming against the children of Israel again. The children, the Israelites. He's coming against them. He's forecasting his devices. He's doing these things, and you can't see it. Oh, Israelite, you ask God for open eyes. I mean, a well-known Israelite, he comes on every day, he calls himself a priest or whatever, but he has exposed this Satan that is coming through this man. And to take heed, you must. But because this Mordecai the Judean was next unto the king of Sars, what did he do? And great among the Judeans, and accepted. See, God give him favor not only with the king, because he kept that which God had purposed, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. Not only him, but the rest of the Judeans that were in the land throughout Persia. They kept him. And this was noted among the Persians, especially this guy, I don't even want to say his name, that wanted to erase. But what did God do to him? That ditch, that noose that he prepared was prepared for himself. He did it for himself. Yes. And the same thing with this racist guy that got on YouTube and different places and exposed by an Israelite brother, and sit up there, and God just, I wouldn't be surprised at the same thing that he desires for the Israelites. He can't see us as Israelites at all, but that same thing is prepared for himself. That's why I tell you, stay away from them. Get out of the neighborhoods. Get away from their social events, because you don't know how God's going to hit them, and you mess around and be trying to please them, these supremacists and these people whose hearts have been turned, and you will be collateral damage, no matter whether you dark as me or as light as the one that's talking about this. But there are certain gods given over many nations, other nations. For Mordecai, now it says now, and accepted of the multitude. In other words, they accepted Mordecai. Mordecai did nothing but just save the king, and he fasted and prayed, and he raised Esther. Yes, he did. He raised Esther. He says now, seeking the wealth of his people. We should seek the wealth of Israel. The wealth of Israel is turning only to the laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High. And not using anything, no, your Hawashim or Mama or whatever you want to call it. No. Just all praises to the Most High, all praises to He that exists, or all praises to the one that exists, that is. The I am that I am. This is what God was saying to Moses. I exist. Period. And you still don't get it. You want to take a beggarly created being born of a woman, seated by a man, and make him God. You's a liar. Israelite, you's a liar. Christian, you are definitely a liar. That's your God, really. And all the rest are nothing but idolatry. Idolatry. Even you got Islam that accepts this Yahushua, this Jesus, this Yeshua as a prophet still. Not even a prophet, because half the things he say he took it from Daniel, the book of Daniel. And that 70 weeks of Daniel is the biggest lie ever told. It's an infused lie to advance their cause. Seeking the wealth of his people. We ought to seek the wealth of Israel, the wealth of the Israelites. If they're not in adultery and they're doing that which is right before the Most High, then we should seek their wealth, their well-being, and speaking peace to all his seed. Now, if we do these things, we will have